Hello everybody, it's Dylan from Alternate Universes here, and I am bringing you another round of Modern. I don't know what I said, we, the company, the channel. We're bringing you around to Modern. I guess I'm the only person on the channel. But hey, on the left we have Mike Appler playing Temur Scapeshift, and on the right we have David. Right now we're playing Izzet Murktide. This is a matchup that Mike has played a lot of. Mike is my coworker, if you do not know him. He's also our L2 judge. He is testing for MTG Las Vegas, MTG 30. Or hopefully he will top 8 and get to play in a beta draft, because that would be sick. Yeah, so, Mike has played this matchup a lot because I play a lot of Izzet Murktide. And I think we spent 2 weeks practicing this match. So, yeah. Mike's list of Scapeshift is a little bit different than what is traditionally played. He plays a little bit more counter magic than other people. Plays a couple less lands. And I'll be honest with you, at first I was not sold on the changes that he had made. I thought they were interesting, but maybe not correct. But as we've played a lot more, I'm about it, man. I'm about it. I'm here for it. He's going to use that Mr. Reinforced. Fetch out that basic forest, not an island. Those are the, I think they're Shades on Secret Lair. My man has a lot of Secret Lair stuff. There's the Yargle Secret Lair Explorer. The the best Explorer. He drew that card. He flopped it accidentally. Going to make an extra land drop. There's a mountain from the same Secret Lair as that forest. Very cyberpunky. Now this video is going live on Saturday. Typically this video would go live on Friday, except for the fact that I had to do late recording this week. I had to cover for a shift. So yeah, currently, if you're watching this on Saturday, at the Bluebell location where we can store championship, where hopefully I am winning an Omnath promo. But more likely, I'm not going to. But that's okay. That's how card game tournaments are designed. David's going to fetch out a tapped Steam Vents here. My background tasks bar is covering part of the screen. That is not what we want. We need to be able to see what's going on here. Shocking in that Steam Vents. Looking like he just wants to pose some counter magic. He's got some stuff in hand. Shocking another Steam Vents. I'm only mildly confused with what happened. I think I got distracted by my Bard. Did he pass the turn? And then Mike just passed the turn as well. Alright, a Ledger Shredder coming down here. The Bird Lawyer. Fantastic piece of cardboard, let me tell you. Let's talk about the modern bands, folks. How do you feel about Yorion getting ejected? We're going to connive and that consider. I imagine in response to the connive, that bird is dying. There's a lightning bolt or a Hadouken from the Street Fighter Secret Lair. But yeah, let's talk modern bans. Let's talk about how they banned Yorion, Sky Nomad. This is the second companion in Modern to get banned, and I still believe very much so that they should have just banned the mechanic before they killed Lurrus. I think it would be interesting to be able to play these cards in your main deck. I think Lurrus would be a card that, you know, would have some build-arounds, I guess. You just play it less than CMC2. It would be cute. You know, you play 4 of it in the main board, 3 of it in the main board, whatever. Yorion, you could still play in like a blue-white control deck as like a one-of creature. Be interesting. The mechanic itself, I think, was just a mistake, and they, I feel like, have acknowledged that it is a mistake, and still just haven't done what I, like, they haven't owned up to it properly, I feel like. But yes, Yorion has been banned. Nothing else was touched. I think there is a very strong argument for Ren and 6 to have been banned as well, or in place of Yorion as a 4-color player. I think Ren is probably the better card, like, to ban out of the deck. It's such a good card. It allows you, the longer, like, if you Ren on 2 and it stays around, like, you just get to play Magic as if you don't have to worry about lands. And that's absurd. And eventually it just becomes a win condition. I don't know anybody who has lost with a Ren emblem on their field. Mike, during David's turn, Ghost brought a land into play. But yeah, other bans, I don't think any other deck really needs to get touched right now. I know some people like really dislike Ragavan and Murktide. I think Murktide is like the fairest deck. It has like a 45 to 55%, or 45 to 50% win rate against the entire field. It's really bad into 4-color. Like it's just a good deck. Solid B. Yeah, I don't think anything else in the format really needed to get hit. I know a couple of my coworkers really wanted Fury banned, but I don't think Fury's worth banning at the moment. I think there's other things keeping creature decks out of the format anyways. But we'll see. There's been some Twitter discourse recently about Fury. Maybe I'm wrong. Legacy got no bans, which is... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Express Federation, putting a Blood Moon on hand, and putting a Misty Reinforcement in exile as his land return. I play Delver. I play Delver, and I kind of want Delver to get hit. It's so weird. But yeah, tell me how you feel about those bans. Pioneer, I think, didn't get touched either. Standard Meat Hook Massacre got banned. Yeah, nothing happened in Pioneer. I don't know if anything needs to happen in Pioneer. From what I've heard, the format kind of like balanced itself back out after Dominaria United, but I could be wrong. Admittedly, it is probably the format I pay the least attention to outside of Standard. Alright, just gotta draw for turn and pass. These lands are really cool. David hasn't really been able to do anything. He's stuck a creature for half of a turn. I imagine at this point... So, like, the thing is, Mike has 4 to 5 cards in hand. He has kind of a grip. Do you play the... I don't know, do you play the Ragavan expecting interaction? I was gonna say, I think that's what I would do. I imagine it dies, but you need to burn all the interaction that you can out of Mike before Mike gets to his Scapeshift turn. Here's the bolt. Just check it out, the Secret Lair art. That Universe is Beyond. Lightning Bolt. Oh, Universe is Beyond. Alright, go to fetch. So Mike is at 6 lands. He needs 7 plus a Scapeshift to kill his opponent. Or at least to do 18 damage to his opponent, which typically is a kill. David's hand not really in the best spot to combat the Scapeshift. He has 1 counterspell, but Mike's typically not casting Scapeshift without counterspell backup. Because of 7 mana, he's able to have, you know, shift plus counterspell for your counterspell. If you have double counterspell, usually you're able to win that exchange, but... We cast a Blood Moon, it's going to get remanded. I think he plays 8 counterspells on the main board, 4 actual factual counterspells, 4 copies of Reband. Which is a little bit different. I don't think most people that play actual counterspell. And his mana base hasn't had too rough of a time combating it. I don't know if this is the play I fight over. And it would have, regardless, counterspell wouldn't have worked, right? So Remand's going to put the moon and the counterspell back in David's hand. Shields are going to be down, and I imagine Mike is going to go, yep, landscape shift, 18 damage, and that'll be game 1 going to Mike Appler on the Temur Scapeshift. They're going to sideboard, it's going to jump to game 2. Boom, there's the jump. There's a Mishra's Bauble, a Scalding Tarn. We're probably going to check the top card of our deck, see if it's a card that we want. Almost revealed it, almost bend it, it looked like.
Go ahead, draw. Drawing for turn. Yep.
We have Bauble John.
Here is a Steam Fence untapped. Go to 8.
Mishra's Buble.
Turn 2.
I'm going to leave an active Steam Vents up, or an untapped Steam Vents. Posing interaction for David's probable Ragavan. Or at least 1-drop creature. I know. It's interesting. I think turn 1. I don't know if he has the Ragavan at this point or if he just drew it. I think turn 1 I play the Ragavan, expecting it to get bolted, but it allows my turn 2 play to be safe.
Hadouken! You're up. Untap. Drawing for turn.
Because like if he's a Ledger Shredder, it's a little bit better. The other thing is he could always just like land the Ragavan as a 1-drop and just leave a mana for Spell Pierce. I think that's also reasonable. It takes 2 cards out of your hand. I like it a little bit less than just like playing the Ragavan out turn 1 and accepting the fact that it's going to die.
Cast a Ren and 6.
Camera went out of focus here. I think I recalibrated it quickly. I don't know why. I did it a couple times on Monday. Just not typical. Alright, there's a Ren and 6. We're picking up a land. Interestingly, they did not mention Ren at all in the BNR, I believe. They said a lot of things that sounded like they were talking about Ren and 6, but they were pretending to talk about Yorion. Gonna double bolt the Ren. It's a little interesting. I don't think double bolting Ren ever feels good unless it's about to ult. Like if it's at 6, obviously, it's reasonable to do it. I don't know if I do it the turn it comes out. Or yeah, the turn it comes out. I have found that fighting over Ren and 6 is usually not the thing that I want to do. Like, I'm not gonna use an actual counterspell on it. Like, I'll spell pierce Ren and 6 any day of the week. But I don't want to use, like, cards that are impactful later on Ren. Like in 4-color. If I have a prismatic ending and it lines up with the Ren and 6, that's perfect. But I'm not gonna counterspell it. Here's an expressive iteration. I almost think I'd rather double bolt the Dryad, which also isn't great. I think objectively Dryad's probably the worst card in Mike's deck. Him and I had a conversation about it. It's just not safe, ever. It gets you an extra land drop, which is cool, but at that rate it's 3-mana Explore, assuming it doesn't survive. Even if it does, you're just like playing lands from your hand. Gets you to a potential kill with Valakut on 6, but... Or Scapeshift on 6. Because everything's a mountain. Take a sip of my coffee real quick. The coffee is definitely cold. I'll have to make a new cup later. Before we do the recording for the next round. I think the next round's like 50 minutes. But also features Scapeshift. I'm supposed to have Mike on camera last week, but he took a judge call. It just like took like 10 minutes, and it was like a weird game state when he left, and when he came back, it also was a weird game state. So we're just like, I won't use the video. So we put him on camera twice this week. Told him I was getting my Scapeshift content. Yeah, so I have found while playing Murktide against Scapeshift that you need to be... Ideally, you need to be aggressive in the early game and then switch to a control game plan. Like, you need to stick Ledger Shredder. You need to stick Ragavan or Ledger Shredder, have them survive, and then just double spell and attack until it gets close to them being able to do their thing, and you just need to hold counter magic forever until you can. Going to fetch. I think we're drawing 2 off the Archmage of Charms.
Yeah, violent. I thought it was a violent now.
Going to tap the fetch for mana because of Dryad of the Leasing Grove. Bolts the bird. Looks like Charm's going to resolve. Drawing 2. It's interesting. The draw 2 mode on Charm feels really weird in this matchup. I think it's the one that I've activated. That is the mode of Charm I've activated the most against Mike. Yeah. But it's mostly just as a way to bait out counter magic. Alright, finds Moon, Bauble, and card that's going to get bottom decked. Yeah, Murktide Origin card that's going to get bottom decked. Pretty sure you exile Bauble, put Moon in hand. I think the Murktide is a trap here.
And remove bottom.
Exiles the Moon. Okay.
Sure.
Play land turn.
Okay.
Plays Misty as a land for turn. Cast the Blood Moon.
Blood Moon is on the stack.
Yep.
In response, Mike is going to tap mana, probably making 4 green,
I'm going to tap 4.
using Dryad's ability. Or the ability gifted to the lands by Dryad, I guess. But
Cards in hand there.
4.
the Moon has resolved,
I'm going to tap
which
4.
David should have fetched
4 green.
something first.
Blood Moon resolves.
He should have played the land fetch to Steam Vents and then left an island untapped. But it is what it is. David is unable to use that Misty Rainforest now. That is now a mountain. Because the Moon has resolved.
13.
Fetches on the stack.
Okay.
Force of Vigor.
Yeah, going to cast Force of Vigor with the floating mana on the Blood Moon.
No?
That's why.
Does have Blood Moon in play. That's a mountain. So you could do something. If you're passing, then I will Force of Vigor. You have priority at this point. You have priority at this point. This is technical.
Yeah, if David had just fetched the Steam Vents,
Well, he died.
gone to
so
11,
then I
and then left the island open,
Untapping.
and also just not revealed the Blood Moon to the Curse Federation, I feel like it's the thing. I think I would have taken Bauble iteration every time. Or Bauble Moon every time, and exile the Bauble.
Misty.
Because you can then play the land, Bauble yourself, fetch it, and it makes the play a little less suspicious to Appler. Alright, and there's a Scapeshift. We have Dryad out. This will allow him to go get a Valakut and 5 mountains, or 5 lands, really.
I made a mistake there. I
And
should
yep,
have fetched,
that's
and
going to be
then I
game
can't
2 going to
flip
Mike.
back.
So Mike will be taking it 2-0 with Temur Scapeshift over David Reitenholler on Izzet Murktide. Thank you for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.
Veil.
We appreciate you.
His last card in the hand.
Like, comment, subscribe, yeah.